of all, let me say thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This is such an adult environment for you and I to be sitting and chatting in.
Yeah, could you guys just scream throughout the whole interview?
No,
That's how
please
I'm
don't.
used to Carson.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. You'll send me right back to my shrink. Don't scream, please. Here, let me get right into it with you, because I've obviously interviewed you a few times in and around MTV. We do research packets, to talk to you. I was amazed at the interviews you've done, I guess, in the last 3 years. Two things amazed me. How many people, for publications, discussed sex with you?
Well, if you talk about a flute in your areas,
that's what it is, right?
It kind of brings that out in people.
Right, and coming from you, I just don't think many people think that that's a topic that you'll just be willing to talk about.
Right.
And like wanting like a bed that's like a chain link fence and things like that.
Oh my God. Okay, see now that's old. Like I go through phases, all right, and that was like a phase.
Okay, well what's the new?
Now that would look terrible in my house, and just.
What's the new phase?
Well, I have a Spanish-style house, so sort of
excuse me.
Spanish-esque furniture.
Chain
link is nowhere in my new house.
Right. A house you just
wow,
got?
Wow, you really did your research.
Yeah.
I think I said that to like one guy who I work with.
Yeah, I found that guy.
I'll stop
I think
now.
it was especially weird for me because I met you when you were like 12, 13.
Yeah, we were like maybe I was like 14 or 15 or something.
Right. I, of course, was 28.
Carson worked at this radio station in Los Angeles, and for some reason your security was very lax or whatever, and my friend and I sort of talked our way in, and Carson was so nice to us. I don't even think you were a DJ at the time. I think...
I must have been.
I don't know, but you were so nice. And,
is it K-Rock and I? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And,
I did 6 to 10 at night. We didn't have much security. And I was always fond of going on the air and inviting listeners over. I get in trouble for that, but I don't remember...
No, you were off the air when you were nice to us. It was really... I mean, you were just like doing paperwork or something.
As opposed to the ass I am on the air.
But you gave my friend and I CDs and everything.
You snuck up into the building?
Yeah, we just sort
and what
of
was I doing? Just sitting there at the radio station?
You were working or doing something,
right.
But you were in this little room that wasn't the DJ room.
Right.
And you, like, lots of CDs. You're like, hey, you want some promotional CDs? We're like, great, thanks. You were so sweet. And my friend developed, like, an enormous crush on you.
Oh, I'm
just,
sorry.
Like, it was Bono and you. It was
really?
like, Carson. She's a lesbian now. But I'm sure it has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
That's great.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with her unrequited love for Carson Daly, but...
I think it's funny that I'd like to meet her now more than then, but that's a whole other thing.
But you were so kind. You really were.
It must have been the Katie Lang CD I gave to her that day. You mentioned your house. Is this a new house that you did?
Yes. My boyfriend and I just bought a house together.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Your boyfriend is the guy on the show.
He's on Angel now.
He's on Angel now.
But we met. He was on Buffy.
I can't keep up with everything on Angel and Buffy. And let me ask you a question about that. First of all, how's it... and I don't want to dive into your life, but how is it working with your boyfriend? Is that cool, you guys?
Well, we weren't boyfriend-girlfriend at the time. In fact, that was his reason for not dating me, because we were working together, and he had, like,
what, the minute he switched over from Buffy to Angel, it was okay?
Yeah. Time had passed. We were friends for a couple of years beforehand, and I would flirt with him shamelessly. I adore him, and I just was blatantly like, okay, I like you. And he wouldn't do it. He had just gotten out of a relationship and didn't want to be with, work with somebody he was dating and all that. So I was like, fine, and I moved on, and we remained friends, and I dated somebody else, and then that didn't work out, and then we were still friends.
Was that the Manson guy?
Yes. It was fun.
You know how many people just thought that was just odd? I can't even imagine what the general consensus was. It was almost like a joke going around Hollywood. You were going out with Ginger Fish or Marilyn Manson.
Very sweet guy.
A little intimidating looking, and coupled with you, it just looked like a movie.
Like a bad teen movie.
Yeah, exactly. Quickly, what was that connection all about, if you don't mind?
He's really sweet, and I don't know, it just was fun. He was nice.
Yeah, no, good for you. Let's get back now. So now you, you and your boyfriend now.
That didn't work out.
You and Alexis, you just got this house.
Yes.
Have you ever lived with a guy before?
I have.
Okay, so you're prepared.
But I've never, bought a house with anyone.
Right,
But
and that's quite the commitment.
It is. It's the biggest commitment I've ever had, done.
What's the one thing that scares you about moving into a house that you've just bought with your new boyfriend?
Well, I'm not really scared because I just, this is the best relationship I've ever been in, and but there is that sort of, oh my God, mortgage we're sharing, and who gets the house if we break up, and that stuff. But
it's a very adult sort of thing to be in.
Yeah.
When will he ask you to marry him? It seems like we're headed down that path.
Maybe
this is a big
he should
commitment.
come here, and you should ask him.
He's here, Alexis. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be awesome.
He's not here. I'm sorry.
Of course.
But is that's obviously could it be a precursor? I mean, this is a pretty big commitment to get a house.
The house fits really nicely on my finger.
Yeah,
so right now that's good. I was very oh no, we need to do the da-da-da, and then we bought the house. I'm like, okay, that's a big step. That's good.
Right,
We're
that's good
good.
for now.
We're good how we are now. Yeah.
But you don't feel pressured. It seems like everybody's getting married. Sarah just got married.
Right.
Gwen and Gavin just got married.
Yeah.
Do you feel pressured at all?
No.
That's good. Let's stop with the house. And that's
I mean,
enough.
if I talk to my mom or grandma, of course, but no.
I want to talk about your fans for a second. Check out what we found online.
Oh,
The
gosh.
Alyson Hannigan fans. This is a pillow you can buy for $12.95.
Oh
And
my
does it frighten you to think of some creepy guy in Iowa and what he's doing with this pillow? Like right now at 2 a.m.?
Just all I think is drool.
Yeah. That's the nice thing to think of. What
Wow, I really didn't know that pillowcase
we bought it off
existed.
eBay for
That's
14
amazing.
bucks. Like other sort of sci-fi shows that are out there, are the fans of you and of Buffy, are they just extra creepy?
No, they're not creepy. There are a handful of creepy fans,
Right.
but they're really nice creepy, and they're just really.
It's like they write you
loyal.
letters in blood, but the cursive is excellent.
Yeah, and the spelling's the key.
Impeccable,
Yeah. But it just. We wouldn't be on the show, on the air if it weren't for our fans.
Yeah, literally.
They're so supportive and so wonderful, and
And do they just do anything freaky? Do they write you?
well, my letters are so sweet. I guess the freakiest fan was the one, and let me just say, she's really nice, especially if you're watching. So you know.
Right.
But she showed up to my old house with a horse.
There you go.
Yeah, I used to live in this sweet little
In a
cul-de-sac.
stable, apparently.
My dogs were going ballistic. They were barking and trying to get out. And I was like, what's going on? And I looked out the window, and there was a horse in the middle of the cul-de-sac. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Thinking maybe somebody got like a horse ride or something.
Right. Was she there with the horse? Like, hi, I'm your creepy
Yeah.
fan. Here's a gift.
Well, minus the creepy fan part.
She just left the horse?
No, she finally, Alexis went out there and sort of said, hi, what are you doing? She never came up to the door or anything. She's like, is Alyson there? He's like, yeah. And she's like, well, I have a delivery for her. And he's like, honey, I think you better go out there. And I was still in my PJs. It was like Sunday. I was lounging. And
Right.
I'm like, okay. So I went out, and she's like, I'm a horse trainer, and I want to share my art with you. And she's trying to give the reins, and Alexis is like, no, because I'm such a big animal lover. I'm like, oh, horse.
Where is this, in like LA too? We have no practical
exactly.
place.
And it called us. I'm like, okay, I'll drain my pool and put the horse there.
That's great.
What am I going to do? I don't even have a garage.
Right.
How am I going to keep a horse?
That's
But
hysterical.
she was very sweet, and
And crazy. We're going to take a break. Alyson Hannigan is here. We'll be right back. Also, the music is Government Music on the show. Last call. We'll be right back. Wake up, everybody! Old man, literally. Hey, we're back. Government Mule playing a little bit. Alyson Hannigan, nice enough to still be here. Thank you. You didn't run out. That was great. We have a lot to talk about. I want to get through everything. You're a busy lady. American Pie 3 they're going to do.
yes.
And we're excited about that.
Yes.
American Pie. The franchise itself has been overwhelming, to say the least, starting with the very first American Pie, which brought in $18 million on the opening weekend, cleared 100. 2 did better 2 years later, opened almost 50, has made 150. They have the same expectation for 3?
I hope so.
That's pretty much why, despite
Yeah.
the fact that some key members of the cast are not coming back.
Right, but the script is fabulous. It really is good. And Jason's coming back, Sean William Scott's coming back, Eugene Levy's coming back. It's just, and I think that they're going to call it An American Wedding, but I'm not supposed to say who's getting
Yeah, that's what
married.
it says here, too.
But, you know, I don't think it's hard to figure out.
When will this come? Have you started? And for those,
Just between us.
Tara Reid, Shannon Elizabeth, Mina Savari, Chris Klein, and Natasha Lyonne all will not be returning.
Well, then now it's really easy to figure out who's getting married, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
He said it, not me, okay? I didn't give it
Well,
away.
you know, it's up. Is anybody worried that when will this come out? Have you started shooting American Pie 3?
No, we start shooting in January.
So when will this
and when
film
I
come
got
out?
the script, let me just tell you that each page had my name across the page, like this big, Hannigan, Hannigan, so I can't Xerox it and put it on the internet.
Right, they're very, they keep it.
And apparently it's already out there. Hopefully not mine.
Right.
But,
They'll know because whoever copies leaked is out there.
Exactly.
But anyway, I'm sure it'll do great in the long line of
It's
films.
really funny.
Right.
I'm very excited.
And if the
I'm as
script-
excited about this one as I was about the first one.
And if the script hadn't been that strong, you might have been one of those people that didn't want to do it, but you feel it's strong.
Right. Well, and I felt that way about two. I wasn't contracted for any of the sequels, so.
Oh, that's a good
it's-
point to make.
Yeah.
You are a believer of the film.
Yeah.
Well, as some of your coworkers had to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
A couple of them.
Okay, good. Let's talk about, you're in the 7th season of Buffy. You guys, where you pay Willow,
Yes.
the good or bad lesbian witch, I forgot.
She's good. She had a bad spell. It was.
It's a matter of semantics.
Yeah.
And you guys shot over in England.
We did. Giles, the character, Tony, the guy who plays Giles, and Willow had some scenes in England for the first couple episodes because basically the end of last season, my character went completely stark raving mad, and
Right.
and then sort of to calm herself, she went to England to train with Giles and to sort of bring in the power and like sort of learn about just everything and trying not to
It's
be
no
evil.
wonder you opened your door and there was a horse. What was it like in England? Had you guys shot there before?
No, it was very exciting. It was also ridiculous. The weather conditions couldn't have been worse. It was right when Wimbledon was happening,
Or it
so
was
of
raining.
course it was raining, but only like in 5-minute intervals.
Right.
Where it would just bucket rain for 5 minutes or 10 minutes,
Right.
and then
Horrible
the sun
shooting
would come
conditions,
out.
right.
Yeah, which is horrible when you're shooting and we were outside because the sun would go away or come out and they'd be like, let's shoot, and then we would start shooting and it would just start raining.
Now, is Buffy popular in England like it is here?
Oh yes, I think it's more popular overseas than
Right.
it is here, really.
They
I
have more castles and knights. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Maybe that's it, folklore or something.
Yeah.
But when I went to Paris, it was insane. In fact, apparently, I've been told that in Paris they liked the show so much that they had a write-in petition something to get the show to air with our regular voices because we're dubbed, and they wanted to hear what we really sound like. So it airs twice, once with the dubbed
in
version,
English?
and then the English one with subtitles.
Right.
So they can actually hear what we sound like.
Right, they
Because
must-
sometimes if you go overseas and you like watch the Cosby Show or something,
Right.
it's like some high-pitched Cosby guy.
Right, right.
Hello.
Right. Well, they have like white guys doing it. You know? It just makes no
Exactly.
sense at all.
It's like, oh my gosh. So
What does your French girl sound like? Have you seen
I'm
it?
sure it's some white guy.
Maybe that's what Gingerfish is doing. Do you want to set up this clip? Oh, it's a joke. Come on.
This clip is, I believe, in England, and we're talking about just sort of Giles is training me to learn about the Earth, and if you notice, the weather will change.
Okay, and this is actually shot in England. No blue
It
screen
is.
here. Let's take a look
Although
at
it kind of looks like Valencia, California,
Yeah.
if you, unless you know England really well.
All right, let's roll it down from Buffy.
I felt the earth. It's all connected. It is, but it's not all good and pure and rootsy. There's deep, deep black. I saw the earth, Giles. I saw its teeth. It's gonna open. It's gonna swallow us all.
There you go, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Nice. It's funny, it actually could have been like in the valley
It really
somewhere.
could have.
But good, at least you got to go to Europe out of it.
It was great.
I want to mention just a couple of them, like another minute left, but I know that you're into like Travis and Coldplay. Are you still into that? Is there anything
yes.
else you can turn us on to? What are you
I
into?
just discovered Wilco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been out of the loop, but I love Wilco.
Right, have you heard Beck's new album?
No, I'm very
See
excited.
It Change is awesome.
can't wait to
I was
do
thinking
that.
about you might like that. in
Yeah, I
particular.
will.
And if you want to
Definitely.
stick around, Government Mule's great too. You're more than welcome. Thank you for being here. Hannigan, everybody, check out Buffy the Vampire Slayer Tuesdays 8 p.m. on UPN. We'll be right back with Government Mule.